Here's my top secret formula for work productivity that will get you results without wanting to pull your hair out. Okay, so before I teach you this simple equation, I've got a story to tell you. In 2015, I took my first formal healthcare leadership position. I was 25 years old with aspirational career goals. I landed my dream job a decade earlier than I thought I ever would. Sounds amazing, and many parts were awesome, but some parts I really struggled with. My biggest struggle was feeling like I didn't have time for all the projects and things I wanted to accomplish. Everything felt urgent, and I felt like I was letting my team down by not being able to get all the things done. I came into this new leadership position running, and guess what? In 6 months, I was totally burnt out. But then, after realizing my mind and my body just didn't want to work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day, obviously, and when I realized my fiance and eventual husband meant more to me than workplace recognition, duh, and when I became pregnant with our first kiddo in 2017, bam, I decided to make some changes. And that was the beginning of creating a productivity system that allowed me to do both things: a career and a home life without sacrificing my health. Since 2015, I married my fiance, we became homeowners, we have 2 kiddos, a dog, and 1 kiddo on the way. My family lives about 5 to 6 hours away, and his family lives between 1 and 2 hours away. My hubby finished medical school after clinical rotations while our first was born. He had many schedule changes, he got his first career right before the pandemic, and has been working on building his panel ever since. I started a master's degree and graduated during the pandemic on Facebook Live. I went from department specialist to supervisor to manager to system level program manager in all of that time. So this method that I'm going to teach you has stood the test of time through personal and professional changes in our lives. It's funny, most days and weeks we do the same things over and over, and yet we pause to say like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that to happen, or I forgot about that, or that came up way too quick. Most of our days, weeks, and months follow the same pattern, and yet we struggle to get organized and keep our shit together. I've been working on a way to help me feel less caught off guard so I can manage all the things, and that's what I want to share with you today. So here's my formula for the productivity system that works for me, and spoiler alert, I have something to share with you. I launched my newest version of the Leader Standard Workbook Planner. Pre-order for the Leader Standard Workbook is happening December 3rd, and it'll be open for a week. The link below is there for you in the description to check it out. This is the same method that I use to get from burnout to business boss and a confident mama and wife. I still use it every single day. And this is the same method I'm about to share with you. This is the same method that I started on Post-its and loose leaf paper, and I've turned it into something really beautiful. And while this method can be done on pieces of paper and notebooks and Post-its, I've turned it into an organized system that has a flow and method to make it really easy for you to execute. Because of this, you'll stay organized and it'll be way more impactful. Okay, so here is the productivity algorithm or equation. It is awareness plus intention equals proactiveness, which leads to strategic results. So let's talk about awareness. Where I see people failing the most is awareness. If you don't plan for the season you're heading into, it's way harder to navigate it. Planning doesn't mean that you have a crystal ball and you can predict everything that's going to happen. Planning means you think about what you expect to happen or might happen or even what you hope will happen, so then when you come to the real time, you can more easily navigate and pivot and make changes. Planning creates awareness. Where most people go wrong is they don't spend any time planning and they essentially head into their days, weeks, months, and years blindly. It's essentially winging it, and it's a method that I like to call hoping for the best. Our careers, reputations, and self-worth deserve more than a hope strategy. So here's what I do to help me create awareness using the Leader Standard Workbook. The Leader Standard Workbook has a few spreads that help you create awareness. First, there are spreads that help you look at the big picture. Number 1 is the yearly roadmap, and number 2 is the performance goals overview page. The yearly roadmap can be filled out anytime, but I love filling it out at the end of the year for the year that's coming. So for example, right now at the end of 2023, I'm filling out 2024's yearly roadmap. The idea of the yearly roadmap is to fill out the major projects that you're going to be working on throughout the year and when each project is going to require work. This helps you do 2 things. 1, it ensures you don't have too many big projects throughout the year so you don't spread yourself too thin. And 2, it helps you spread those projects out at different time points during the year so you don't have too many overlapping things at one time. You can do it all, but you can't do it all at once. Ugh, I hate that saying because it's true. Once you have your yearly roadmap filled out, you can think about your performance goals overview. The purpose of the performance goals overview page is to help you categorize your projects into goals that you can articulate to yourself and to your leader. There's also a space to ensure you're checking in on your goals quarterly so you take accountability and don't forget about them. This also allows you to ask the question, does this goal still make sense, that you can course correct before it's too late? Okay, and then there are awareness spreads that help you look at the day-to-day things that you're going to be doing. Number one is the typical month spread. In the Leader Standard Workbook, I use the typical month spread to document when things normally happen. So for example, on the first Wednesday of every month, I have a large strategic committee meeting. This never changes, it's always on this first week, so essentially I should never be surprised that it's coming. There are also monthly tasks that I need to do, whether it's at the beginning, middle, or end of the month, to track spreadsheets or goals, or maybe look at my budgets. As a working mom, you'll see when we fill out the actual month, I'll love to fill in birthdays or specific dates like play dates, or when we're gonna be traveling or out of town, so that I don't forget, because I'll get really engrossed in my work, but also need to remember specific family things so I don't drop the things that are really important to me. The second template in this category is the ideal weekly plan. I'll use this template to mark down the ideal flow of my days and weeks. For example, on Mondays, my kids have after-school activities, so I know I have a hard stop at a certain time. That never changes. Every Monday, it's the same. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I know, are typically my heavy one-to-one meeting days, so I know I can't schedule a lot of other things during those times, because for me, one-to-ones take a lot of energy because I want to be fully committed and present for those people. Wednesdays are usually full of strategic meetings, so working on other things during that time is kind of hard because I want to be fully present for all those specific meetings. Mondays and Fridays are what I call my flow days. There just tends to be less meetings, so that's when I block myself focus time to work on strategic projects and goals. Once you fill out these pages, you do realize that your months and your weeks and days do follow specific patterns. It's just a matter of planning those out regularly instead of using the hope strategy. When you plan these out regularly, you can make real intentional progress instead of winging it and hoping for the best. Okay, so we've talked about awareness, which is the first piece to this algorithm. The second piece is intention. Once you've created awareness of what you have to work on and what you think you need to be working on for the year to meet your goals, you can then be intentional about choosing exactly what happens each month, each week, and each day. The difference between a successful person who is not burnt out compared to somebody who appears successful on the outside, but on the inside is burnt out, exhausted, and tired, is their level of intention. The person we all strive to be is the person that uses intention as their superpower. If planning gives you context, intention drives the right projects and the right tasks forward at the right time. The practice of intention takes the context of planning and allows us to think. Based on what I know about what I've got going on this month, week, or day, ... based on approaching deadlines and goals, ... what would be the best thing to work on to drive forward results this month, week, or day? ? So here's how I use this method in the Leader Standard Workbook. I take the information from the typical month spread and I fill out the actual month. I think about the big picture goals and what I actually want to accomplish or hope to accomplish that month. I look at the tasks that I would have that would align with those goals. I look at the meetings or appointments on my calendar that I can't control that I have to get done. And like I said before, I add context like birthdays, hard stops like I have to leave to get my kids, or weekends when we're traveling, and also I try not to forget about scheduling paid time off in advance so I actually get a day off here and there to myself. Then I use the Leader Standard Work page. This is a template that I take information from the ideal weekly plan and I use that and fill in the Leader Standard Work template. Essentially, the Leader Standard Work template can be used as sort of a habit tracker. It's the recurring daily, weekly, and monthly tasks that I have to do, like checking email, attending meetings, doing one-on-ones. Those things that always exist, that are always in the plan for the week. This is a tool to show if you're overbooked for meetings or appointments on one day, or if you need to level load a bit. Maybe you keep missing a specific appointment. This allows you to ask, is that appointment still serving me? Do I actually need to attend? And if so, what do I need to do to make it possible? Or if not anymore, maybe I can just get rid of it. Using this weekly allows me to create additional awareness in real time if my schedule is still working for me or if I need to make changes. Without a template like this or without creating this awareness, we might just keep doing the same things and expecting different results. Then I use the weekly plan to determine when I'm going to work on priority tasks and projects. I also take into account what my typical week looks like. And I also want to say bonus here, intention doesn't mean doing it all. Intention actually means not doing it all. It means only moving forward those priority items while other things intentionally wait. Intention is basically my filter. But how do you put intention into true practice? Well, my friend, I use the leave happy tasks. So I used to call these like my big 3 or my top 3 to-do list items, but I just didn't like the word to-do list after a while. It just felt like a lot of pressure. So I started asking myself, if I were to leave happy today having accomplished 1 to 3 things, what would it be? Thus was born Leave Happy Tasks. I also use the I Love List page to document to-dos from my email, from things I've been assigned, from meetings, or from ideas that I have throughout the month, and I take those items and move them into my Leave Happy Tasks when it makes sense. The weekly plan also has a space for your daily intention. Sometimes that intention is just like, survive. Other times it's be present. And a lot of times I use it to write quotes or mantras that I want to repeat to myself throughout the day to help myself get through. It's pretty much a space for a pep talk. I also used to think about what I'm grateful for when I'm at work, but I found that I get the most bang for my buck when I intentionally think about the people who have impacted me throughout the day or the week in a positive way. I'll jot down people that I want to thank or who I'm grateful for, and then when I have time, I will send them an e-card or an email or just like a personal note to say, thank you. Personally, for me, this makes me feel more connected to my colleagues, brightens my day, and I know it makes other people feel special. And of course, each week comes with 5 note pages in the Cornel style of note-taking. So essentially there's 2 columns. The skinny column is for like a date or topic to help you stay really organized so you can kind of see item by item what you're taking notes about. And then on the other side is really the note content or description. By using this Cornel method, I actually found that I take less notes because I'm really intentional. There's that word again, about what I take notes on, like here's this topic with the action item, and then here's the description of what I need to do. Okay, so here's the full equation. Awareness plus intention equals proactiveness, which leads to strategic results. When you create awareness, you can be intentional about what you're working on every day, week, and month. This is the opposite of winging it. Combining awareness and intention ensures that you are proactive about your decisions. Creating awareness and intention ensures that you are proactive about your choices and your decisions. Being proactive puts you in control of your daily success and your long-term career success. Plus, increases your confidence as a human, a mom, a wife, whatever it is that you're trying to go for, you'll feel a lot better about yourself. Proactive leadership allows you to create strategic results for your company, whether you're working from someone else or you're working for yourself. I've been learning about myself as a professional and as a human since 2016 with this method, so it has stood the test of time, and I still use it today and continue to learn. Wait, there's more. The Leader Standard Workbook provides some bonus pages to help you reflect and review where you've come. It helps you make changes and also calls out a space to remember the good stuff, because our brain tends to focus on the negative more than the good. Each month has a review and reflection section, as well as a book of wins page where you can document small little wins throughout each day of the month. So awareness, intention equals proactiveness equals strategic results. By following this formula, you'll see your productivity and your performance exponentially increase. People will be asking you like, what are you doing differently? And guess what? It will not feel like more work. It will actually feel easier. Instead of flying by the seat of your pants, you will actually have a method to your madness. And even if you don't follow your plan perfectly for the day, you will have just that, a roadmap with guide rails to help you get to where you need to go, versus just going into the woods blind with no headlights on, not knowing where you're going. Like I said, our self-worth, career, and our success deserves more than a hope strategy. I hope this method helps you whether you decide to use Post-its, loose leaf paper, or a notebook, or you purchase my Leader Standard Workbook. I really hope you do take the leap to help yourself be more successful, organized, and be less stressed in your days. Pre-order is starting December 3rd at a discount, and the link will be there for you in the description. Pre-order is only going to be available for a week, and then it will go to full price on my website after that. I hope that this information helps you be successful and feel good about yourself in 2024. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!